Hey guys, so today we are finally doing another custom acrylic video using chalks, glitters, pigments, etc. But of course, today's video is going to be Halloween themed, of course. There is going to be a lot going on in this video, so I'm going to leave timestamps or chapters down below so you can click around if you like, skip parts you don't want to see, etc. Since my last chalk acrylic video, I got a ton more chalks in many different other shades. I got some more jars, got some more acrylic. I think I also have substantially more glitter than I did previously, so I'm really excited to get into it today. I'm also gonna do some designs on a fake hand for once. I'm a little nervous about that part, but it's okay. Before we start all of that, something I don't think I've mentioned is I have a P.O. box, and I got a very sweet package in my P.O. box that I wanted to share with you guys. So once again, if you don't care about this kind of stuff, you can just skip ahead via the timestamps down below. If you want to send me something to my P.O. box, I will put it here. I'll also put it in the description, but do not feel the need to send me anything. You can send me a letter and I guarantee I will see it and read it. I don't usually get a lot of stuff because I don't show that I have one. So the first thing is from Maddie, and thank you so much. This is so cute, also with the spider web. She said it's Halloween themed, but also still in my nice pink bubblegum rolled, which I love. Thank you very much. I will maybe... Cool. The next thing that I got had a letter that I'm not going to read you, but it is from Brian, and he owns the Velvet Hexagon on Etsy. I did unbox two things before I decided I wanted to open it on camera. The rest is still nicely packaged up. It's also a fairly large box and I do not have enough room. So one of the main products is some nail polish, and I love these shades. And this is the Halloween collection, I believe. Okay, we got some glitters. Love this one, very pretty. Also some more pink, you know, I always love pink. Before this leaves my mind, I also did want to say I of course appreciate anything you guys send. And again, do not feel the need to send me things. But also, if you do send me something, there is no guarantee I'm going to show it, put it in a video, etc. So please do not spend a ton of money on me or a bunch of product from your business thinking it's going to guaranteed be in a video. I can't always do that. I wish I could. I just can't, unfortunately. Really like this mix. Some nice nude shades, some blues, and I love the way that he packaged this because they're all like color coordinated. Very much appreciate it. Some more like nudie pinks and some more greens. I keep thinking I'm on the last one, but I keep pulling out more. Oh, and it's more glitter. So there's another layer to this package that I wasn't expecting. So I'm going to sort of speed through these because it's a lot.
Dressed in shades of white, cognizant of my dependent side. It's such a bitch when chemistry collides.
Once again, thank you, Brian. I love some of these shades. You guys don't see me use nail polish a lot because I'm very impatient, but I actually use nail polish on David all the time if I don't feel like, you know, fully prepping his nails for gel and stuff like that. So I will definitely have to use one of these on him. So I got these soft chalk pastels because it has 64 colors. It says it's very fine pigment, soft, and it's supposed to be super pigmented also. I do have micas that I have used before, but the reason I don't always want to use micas is that they almost always look metallic, and sometimes you want it matte, you don't want, you know, like a shine with it. So with chalk, you end up with a one color, not dimensional look. So we have a very broad spectrum of colors now because before we had some, but I just felt like it was time to upgrade. I'm gonna be using these same glass jars. These ones are my favorite. And also everything is always linked down below. I do my best to list literally everything. Sometimes I get a lot of comments of being like, where did you get this? And it's usually linked. So just check the description box in case you miss a name of a product or whatever. I'm not ready for how messy this always is, but it's always so fun. Alright, so like I said, this is Halloween themed. For each of these acrylics today, I'm actually going to go in with an idea of what I am creating it after, like what in my mind has inspired this color, but I'm not going to tell you guys until after when we name it. So I'm going to start with this white from Model 1s, and I'm going to use a big scoop for that. Then I'm going to do a big scoop of clear, and maybe another, there we go. Then I'm going to use this orange. So previously we have tried out sort of a chalk grinder for this process, but since it's not actually made for chalk or certain stuff like that, it does get clogged really easily. So I'm not going to use it today because it really does take a while to clean it, and I don't want to do that after every single time. So I'm going to stick to the e-file method. So let's see. Oh, wrong way. I also do my absolute best to clean up during this process, but if you see my fingers and there's all kinds of dust and colors all over them, mind your business. So we have this orange, and then I'm going to put a little bit of this color changing pigment in there. It's a red to yellow, so red, yellow, orange, whatever. Maybe like that much. Not sure how much that's gonna color change things. I still don't have a formula that I use, if you will. I just do it from the heart. And then sometimes I'm going to do a glitter mix before I put it in there to make sure it's what I want. So we're going to start with a fine hollow glitter. That much. So I've changed the angle slightly to hopefully give you guys a little bit of a better view. Next up, I'm going to use a little bit of this Nail Supply Glamour glitter we just got in our mystery box. Then I'm actually going to add a little bit of this blue. Okay, I think that's what I want. I'm gonna mix it up now, but we will break up the majority of this pigment with the E-file.
Baby, this is a bloodbath. Baby, this is insane. I want you bad and you know that, yeah. Nothing I wouldn't say. Hey, baby, this is a bloodbath.
It's time to test this one, so I'm just gonna pour some monomer in my little dish. Perfect. We will be needing probably a bit today. Okay, let's see. Okay, looks pretty good. Okay, so this is what it looks like. It's not quite what I pictured, so we're gonna have to tweak it a little bit. So I want it quite a bit oranger, like I want it pretty orange. So I'm gonna use a little bit of a brighter orange this time. Okay, let's try again. It's a bit better. Actually, that's much better. Tiny bit more. Let's try this last time. The chalk can cake up on the sides like this, so this is why I mix it usually first, so I can just get all of that pigment and chalk and stuff just out of any crevices. Also, like the drill can't get like the edges of this jar, like, you know, down there. So again, just like to make sure that everything is dispersed evenly. Surely this time will be what I had in mind. Yes. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna use this piece of paper towel to use as our final swatches of everything because I don't know where my swatch sticks are, so this will have to do. All right, can you guess what this one was inspired by? Oh my gosh. That's right, it's label maker time. All right, let's see. Frame, I wonder if we have a Halloween theme in here. Can you guys see? Oh, here we go. There, now you guys can see. I can't see now, so I'm gonna use my viewfinder. It's winter. Does it snow? Where's Halloween? Hello? Halloween? So this one was inspired by one of my decor pumpkins that already molded. It had been like a week and a half. I didn't even leave it in the sun. I like picked it up the other day and it was moldy, and that was so rude. This one is supposed to look like a moldy pumpkin, so its name shall be Rotten. The next one is going to be more jelly-like with lots of glitter. So we're just gonna use some clear acrylic. No white in this one. Nice, Emily. Good job. Cool. And I'm gonna use this purple. I'm going to live on the edge, if you will, and not clean my bit. I'm hoping that it won't really matter, that it would just be like such a minuscule amount of the past color. Okay, just gonna mix this up a little bit. Okay, I think this one is gonna be cool. So for our glitter mix, I'm gonna use this old glitter from Glitter Elixir. This one has some purple and black in there, and that's kind of what I'm going for. Then we just have a plain purple from Ellen Nailed It, and I am always so scared to open these ones because they are full. And then one of my absolute favorite types of glitter, I don't know if I'll be able to catch the reflect in this one on camera. This is one of the ones that looks almost like a neon, like blinding purple in certain lights. It would look, I guess, UV. So I'm gonna put a good chunk of that in there. That way it has like a nice, really cool effect. This is gonna seem so extra. I'm going to pick out any of these black hollow skulls. It must be a skull. And I am desperately hoping that there's more than one of them in there. 2. Then, okay, got a couple. Okay, here's our glitter mix. I think it's missing a little something. Okay, I'm going to put a tiny, like the smallest amount of this pink in here. There we go. Now it's perfect. Ooh, it's messy today. Why is this one being so much messier? All right, let's just mix up our glitter within itself. I absolutely love this glitter mix. Okay, let's put it in. And then I'm gonna just mix in the glitter like this. Since we do have those large skulls, I don't want it to scratch any of them. Let's try it out. Okay, I love this one. It is absolutely perfect. I didn't want to get any big skulls in this because they were just like a test one. This paper towel is going to be our like final swatch one where we can see the colors of everything. How perfect is that one? Isn't it so pretty? And I modeled this acrylic after Kuromi. I absolutely love Kuromi. And did you know that her birthday is actually on Halloween? This year I'm going to make my dog Brutus into Kuromi for Halloween because he already has like the ears. I know that Kuromi has like pink on the skull and also on like the little, I guess it'd be like the jester collar, but I associate Kuromi with purple because I just feel like she's in a purple setting much more often. This is our Kuromi acrylic and I wanted to add the skulls obviously because she has a skull on her head. So I thought it was perfect, love it. So we're gonna start another. This next one I want to be fairly opaque, so we're gonna use a lot of the white. Running out of the white here. Hopefully that's fine. This next one, we're gonna use a little bit of each of these. Uh-oh. Okay, so I got my other one a little too dirty, so David's cleaning it for me right now, so I'm gonna use my other e-file. And then thinking about it now, I'm gonna add a little bit of gray also. I don't think I'm gonna put any glitter in this one just because we have to have a variety, you know? We can't just like put glitter in every single one. I mean, who can, but. Okay, let's try these. Okay, I actually really like this color, but I want to make it a little bit darker. And I want to add, ooh, it's so hard. Okay, I'm gonna add more of this one. I think this is what I'm going for. Okay, and for the heck of it, we'll add a little bit more gray. Cool. Okay, this one's up for a retry. Basically kind of the same, is it? I don't feel like that much changed. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's like a shade darker, but you know what? I'm gonna leave this one as it is. This one I feel like would look best matte 100%. Bringing out my very professional, very put together little swatch board, if you will. I feel like I'm at the point in the day to where words just don't look right to me, even if they're really simple. So I'm double checking because I don't want to get made fun of for misspelling a very simple word. And this one was inspired by a haunted mirror. I don't know. I just feel like this was in like, I don't know, a really old, creepy house. Like you would look at it and it'd be like sort of dim, but dusty. And then it would have like, you know, a little silvery tone to it because it's a mirror. And this is just what I feel like the tone of a haunted mirror would be. So this one is haunted mirror. Also because I tend to bring home many mirrors from antique stores. And then people always get scared from me when I tell them that. Moving on, I'm gonna do just a small amount of white and then mainly clear for this. And we're gonna start out with sort of a darker green. Then I am gonna pull out my bag of pigments. I do want this one to have a little bit of like a shiny, almost metallic look. I want this one to be fairly dimensional with the green. Like I want it green, but I want it to just look like a lot of different greens. So I'm gonna use this one. This almost has like a, could be mistaken for like a more blue toned green. It's definitely green. Its name is papaya, but it could, you know, could be. So I'm gonna put some of that in there. Nice. And then it wouldn't be Halloween without some glow in the dark. So we're gonna make this one glow in the dark. I wish I saw more green in Halloween stuff. Of course, like with like Nightmare Before Christmas, Oogie Boogie and stuff, there's always that green, but I just feel like green is a really underrated Halloween color. It's always like purple and orange, which I love, But I feel like green needs to make a little bit more of an appearance.
Got me nailed down cold. Scared to death and you love her, yeah. Know where you wouldn't go. Oh.
Okay, let's see how this looks. I'm excited for this one. I don't know if I want to put any glitter in it. I don't think so, but I might add. I just want to see how it looks beforehand. Okay, it looks okay. I feel like it is missing something. Oh, you know what I did buy? I actually bought a lot of stuff for this video. Hold up, I have more stuff. Okay, I feel like this one needs a little bit of like a pow. So I forgot, I actually got like neon just pigments, like just straight pigments that aren't just micas, because like I said, I feel like they're always too shiny usually. Uh-oh, looks like the green escaped a little. But these ones are neon, so hopefully this can give us like the little zhuzh that this one needs. Wow, so bright. That should do it. Okay, and then I am going to add a little bit of this glitter from Ellen Nailed It again. I love these ones. These are like such fine glitters. This one almost looks like sprinkles in real life. It looks soft, like it looks like I could like jump into it. It's weird. That's our previous swatch. Let's see, this time it definitely looks brighter, for sure. You can't even barely see the glitter in this one. Okay, I feel like once this one dries down, it'll seem like it has more dimension. This will be one that like will really pop in the sunlight, I think. So let's get our paper towel and we'll do our final swatch of this one as it is completed. Uh-oh, I think I have some cross-contamination with some of the glitter, as glitter does. So we'll work on that once we are doing the actual nails. And this one is Potion. Hopefully that's right. Is that right? Like I said, my brain at this point of the day just can't even, I don't know. I love this one though. It's such a bright color, but it's also not necessarily neon. So I'm gonna do a little cleanup, get my space back to hopefully less cross-contamination from that, I think, purple glitter. Okay, what are we on now? Our fifth one. So for this one, I want to try a little something different. This one, I don't know if you could like produce. I'm sure you could. So for this one, we're going to use a lot of the white. We might have to make jelly ones after this or something like that because we are almost out of white. Womp womp. I'm going to keep this container though. I can use it. Then we're going to use the rest for clear. First, we're gonna use this pink. We're gonna use a little bit of this one. Again, I don't know how this one's gonna go. This one could go good, it could go bad. I could also not execute it well, which is very much possible. A little bit of gray. I actually am gonna still just put some of this white in here. Just see if I can get the effect that I want. Some purple. Gonna do a lighter purple. I would say that's probably good. Now for glitter. I'm gonna use this thing of hollow glitter. These are like little itty bitty ones, but also stars. Gonna start off with some pink ones and then some darker gold. And then we'll also do a little bit of just silver hollow. I think that's it. Or we didn't do purple, did we? Did we do purple? I don't remember. I'll just put a little bit in there for good measure. So for this one, it's gonna be a little different. Like I said, it could not look good. I'm gonna just mix this, and I'm not going to mix it up with the e-file because for this one, I just wanna see if we can make almost like a pre-marble mix, if that makes sense, because there's the chalk and the pigment and stuff. It does sort of clump together. And so with this, I was sort of thinking it might look cool if it was like sort of one tone with these bigger spots of like more pigmented places. So I don't know if this is gonna look good, but I think it's worth a try. Every time I do one, I always have the urge to just see how it would look without using the e-file to like really make it all like one. So let's just see. Sort of like a pink taupey color. I think that kind of looks cool. You can't tell me that that doesn't look kind of cool, like already done. Do another swatch. Like you just spread it out and it sort of looks like confetti. Do you see what I mean? I think it looks cool. I'm just gonna tell you what my inspiration was for this now because it does not look like that. My inspiration was my background, if you couldn't tell by the colors, but it kind of just went off on its own way, and I don't know how this could be Halloween, but I'll think of something. But I actually think it looks kind of cool, like these sort of like big spots. I guess if you're working with it, it might marble a little bit. I just think it's like a cool concept. I think I might make one more of these in that fashion where it's just like kind of not all mixed up. I think it's cool. Let's go ask David and see if he has a name for this shade. Hi. Okay, so do you see this shade?
Yeah.
I need a Halloween name for it.
Casper.
Casper? You just saw your phone.
No, I didn't. It's white. See, like there's white.
Uh-huh.
What color is Casper?
White.
Exactly.
And so it shall be. Let me go see if I have any more white to sacrifice. Oh my gosh, okay. So the Halloween I don't know, something's looking out for me today, and I had this and I was like, oh, it doesn't say what it is. I'll be like, bet it's clear. See, that it looks clear, but it's white. Okay, how many are we at now? 5? Okay, cool. So now I don't have to conserve any white. I feel much better about doing more because I was like, uh-oh, I might have to cut a little bit of this short. I could do a lot more translucent ones, but I feel like if you don't have any white, it's pretty hard to make it like, it's like opaque, you know, like, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna pour the rest of this one. Wow, finished up whole ones today. That is okay though, because I bought a huge thing of white. It's bigger than the last one. I very much feel like we need a red now. So the thing is with the unblended, like sort of clumps of pigment, we can always make a base and blend it in and then put additional pigment in to make that one not super blended. So that's what I'm gonna do. So this is gonna be our base color.
Just to watch me beg when you touch my chest. I think I might love you. I think I might care. I think I might miss you if you weren't right there.
Okay, so first let's see if this is the shade I want even. Okay, it is, and it's perfect. Isn't that a pretty nude? Look at that. That's a really good nude. I like that one. Going to put some of this red in. Not a ton. Oh wait, no. I'm messing up. I'm not supposed to. Okay, and then we're just gonna mix this in. Let's just see where we're at. So I had a little mistake. Feel like that's good. Probably use a little bit more of the red though.
Baby, this is a bloodbath. Baby, this is insane. I want you back, you know that. Nothing I wouldn't say.
I feel like the red definitely blended in more without even trying. That's okay. I have some hearts. We need quite a bit of those. Our final swatch for this one. Oh, no. No. You guys. Oh, these hearts. I hate when this happens. This happened in the last video too. I don't come across this very often to where the monomer strips the color off of the glitter. This does not happen to me very often, and it sort of really bothers me with glitter that's sold for nails because it doesn't say like don't use with acrylic. I feel like if you have glitter like for nails, it should be safe with monomer also, or at least just say it isn't. So this one was from McCart's decoration kit. Not that McCart even sells acrylic, but it's still like nail supplies. Not safe with monomer, which is sad. I'm sad about that. So of course, this one was inspired by no other than My Bloody Valentine. It's one of my favorite horror movies. I don't know why. I think because I actually like the 2 holidays I really do like are like Valentine's Day and Halloween. I don't know, just mixing those 2, I just like it. I also probably am in a small group of people that don't really like old horror movies. The old ones I do like are The Evil Dead. I like those ones too. Let's do one more. Okay, got the idea. We're gonna take a lot of clear, and I'm just gonna take a tiny bit of white. We don't need a lot. I still want it to show a little bit. Not that many people are just sitting here all day creating their own acrylics, but if you want to put glitter in, don't put that much white. I would say unless you want it jelly, put a little bit of white, but you know, you guys know.
Say you love me up. Baby, this is a bloodbath. Baby, this is insane. I want you bad in your
Also, it is needless to say that this is not good for your e-file. It's definitely probably better to get like a cheap sort of grinding thing for it. If you're gonna do this, make sure to clean your e-file afterwards, and that's what David's doing for me right now. Where's my other one? And then I'll give this one to him to clean. I also recommend putting this pretty far out. That way you are not super close to that opening. Do at your own risk, pretty much. Okay, let's see what shade this is once we did that. I did a lot of chalk in this one, like a lot, because I wanted it to be fairly saturated. Ooh, and that's a nice yellow. Okay. It needs glitter though, of course. So what glitter shall we put in? Okay, so for this, I'm gonna put a bunch of this black glitter in here because I think that'll be a really nice contrast. This one also has stars in it too. Wonder if I have any more just stars. I do. I have these, and these are just stars. Okay, stop. So I'm looking in here. There's just so many different ones in this little pack. I think I missed. You guys see there's just like a little skull and crossbones. That's really cute. Would have been good to know earlier. For Chromie, we might have to go and add. No, you know, we'll leave the big ones. Okay, let's see if this is better. Okay, I don't know why. Are the stars sinking to the bottom or something? I feel like I'm not getting enough stars. I didn't think I'd have to put even more in here, but okay. That should be plenty now. I hope. All right, we're gonna do our final swatch of this one. There we go. That's the kind of stars I wanted. That one's actually really pretty. I love that one. Well, it's not my favorite, I don't think, but it could be a close contender. Obviously, a little loosely interpreted, but this one is going to be Cat's Eye. So when I think of like a cartoon character walking in like the woods or something and like a pair of eyes popping at them, it's always yellow for some reason, I think. I don't know if that's the case. And then I also feel like a twinkle would be the stars. So that's where I got the Cat's Eye for this one from. And we'll do one more. For this one, I'm going to stick to only clear because we're going to do a little bit of a jelly moment. I felt like, I don't know, I couldn't do one without a blue. I felt like a blue was just missing. I forgot to turn on my face cam, sorry. Okay, so I feel like it'd be weird if I didn't do a glow in the dark for this one. Oh my gosh, have I never opened this one? I haven't. I imagine that should be plenty for it to glow. Okay, this one we'll probably have to test quite a few times to make sure it's what we want. Oh wait, nope, I love that color. Love that color. Okay. Just kidding. I'm using a lot of these little stars. I think I'm gonna sort of keep it this blue. I wanna put every color, don't get me wrong, but I also don't wanna do overkill. And then I'm going to use these, and hopefully when I tell you guys the name of this one, it'll make sense. I think this one's gonna look sort of how I'm wanting. I hope anyway. I don't want too many of these little circles, but enough that there's like one or two in each. Let's see. Oh, no, you know what? This one is perfect. Absolutely perfect. Probably one of the best ones I've done, I would say, personally. All right, let's just do our official paper towel really quick. There we go. If you haven't guessed it already, this one is Full Moon, which if I do say so myself, that one does look like it. So I love that one. Okay, I know I say last one, but this one is the true last one. And I didn't want to forget to do this because everyone is always disappointed that I didn't do this. So what we're actually gonna do is open up all of our made acrylics, get like a nice scoop out, not much. I don't wanna use a ton of it for this. And we're going to make a Franken acrylic out of custom acrylics. Every time I do one of these videos, that's what everyone always suggests. And because I've pretty much already done all of my acrylics, I wouldn't really want to do like a full one again like that. So I'll just do it now out of these ones. Okay, so here we are, all 8 in here. So I think I pretty much put a good equal amount of everything. So I'm just going to stir this up. All right, and then this one we'll just put the bottom here because there's no like testing this one. It is what it is. Okay, so basically it looks like a darker version of this one with that. We will name this one though. All right, and this one is going to be Trick or Treat Bag because that's kind of how I feel that would look. That's kind of what I was thinking for this one. It kind of just has like a little mix of everything. So here are all of our acrylics. I really like pretty much them all. I feel like I'm not super stoked on this one. I don't even know if I'll do a design with it because the hearts honestly ruin it for me. I feel like that's the only one that I really truly don't like. I'm also the Franken acrylic. Not really a huge fan considering we already have this one. If I didn't have this one, I would like it, but we already made this one. Other than that, I actually really love most of these shades. I don't know if I'm gonna work on like my fake hand because I've never done that before, or if I'm gonna work on like a press-on tip. So give me a moment to figure that out and I'll see you in a moment. Probably no face cam though, because I'm starting to look shiny. Okay, we can see that I got this fake hand ready to go. I just put in some like short square tips for now as their nail beds. I know that there's other stuff you can get, or, you know, stuff to make it like, you know, more permanent, more sturdy or whatever, but this is just what we're gonna do right now until I get more comfortable with it. I don't wanna like ruin it or put any glue on it yet or anything like that. I'm gonna just try to basically start off with something fairly easy for me. I am not used to doing other people's nails. Occasionally I'll do a friend's, but it's rare. I do David's, but he doesn't usually do like extensions. So that's new for me. So take it easy on me with this thing, all right? I'm trying. Some hydrator. This is so strange. I feel like a real nail tech. I decided it's okay if it's not like prepped 100%. You know what I mean? Like she'll live. Oh, uh-oh, she got a crooked nail. Oh, you know what the nice thing about this? If like you make her nail crooked, you can kind of just like pretend it's not. I don't know if I said or not that I was gonna do a design for each one. I'm not sure about that because I made way more than I anticipated. I'll probably at least try to use as many as I can. Is that fair? I think that's a good compromise. Don't mind me just playing Nail Tech Simulator. She moved and the nail tip came off. How dare. Rude. We're just gonna do a little bit of this tip primer, but other than that, nothing too crazy. I think I'm gonna do Kuromi first. That is definitely the one I want to see the most. You guys will have to let me know how you guys feel about this fake hand because I've had a lot of people suggest a fake hand to me and I've had one for quite a while. I just worry that the videos basically like wouldn't feel the same basically if I weren't doing the nails on myself, if that makes sense. Hopefully that would make sense. Just like, you know, everyone's so used to me just doing them on myself. So then I could definitely understand if, you know, you're watching a video and I didn't do them on myself, how it wouldn't feel the same. So let me know how you guys feel about it. One thing I do know though is that this acrylic that I made, this exact one, the Kuromi one, is so pretty. It's probably, dare I say, my favorite that I've ever made, I guess. I love this one. Wow, doing nails on like someone else like this is so different than doing them on your own nails because they give a totally different angle. It's so weird. It feels really, really strange to do it like this. I feel like if I had some practice though, it'd probably be easier just because you can work with gravity much easier. Well, you know what? I take that back. You can probably work with gravity much easier if you're not worried about filming it on yourself. So that's probably a me exclusive problem. So you can scratch that. Okay, I may have not done this cuticle super clean. I may have gotten some on her skin, but to be fair, she's not paying me. So, all right, well, there's Kuromi. I love this one. Hopefully you guys will be able to see those like really pretty purple specks. Next, we'll move on. I really want to use Full Moon. I love this one. Kuromi and Full Moon, and then Cat's Eye are probably my favorites. I will say, if you are doing acrylic like this and you're making your own and using, you know, chalk and pigment and stuff, sometimes your brush can get gunked up fairly easily. So just make sure that you're really being vigilant of where you're wiping it and you're not wiping it in the same spot for too long, or working with one dip in your monomer too long, wiping it off. You know what I mean. You guys know. I know you guys know. That's just something I've noticed with these, is that I feel like the chalk almost makes it perhaps like dry up a little bit quicker. Wow, that shaping needs some work. Oops. There we go. We can just shape those up later. It's fine. I'm fine. Definitely have to use this one. Love this one. I feel like this yellow one, the Cat's Eye, looks so good. It almost looks like it's just like an acrylic that like someone would actually sell. I don't know if anyone else has this problem, but for me, whenever I make something, it will always look like homemade to me. And not that homemade is a bad thing. It's not. It's just for me, I don't know. It'll always look like I made it. You know what I mean? I have a really hard time seeing like an outside perspective on like my own work. So like all of these, essentially, this one I think looks really good. But like most of them I'm like, oh, it looks like someone used chalk to make it. Not that that's a bad thing either. It just like, for me, it's just like, I feel like I can never compare it to like a professional, you know, like a professional lab or whatever. Someone would make this one, I think. Like I would buy this one. If I saw this one, it's like yellow with black hollow stars and glitter. I would buy it. Okay, I feel like I'm getting the hang of it a little bit more. Took me a second. It probably also doesn't help that like probably the initial nail beds weren't sized, you know, 100%. I just kind of like shoved them in there and was like, you're good. Got yourself some nail beds now. Uh-oh. That's probably not what you want to happen when you're working on a client. I actually want to use Haunted Mirror so that I can actually draw a design on that one. So for this one, for me, it's okay if it's a little streaky, but what I don't really want is any pieces of like glitter or anything or big chunks, so I will try to get those out. Wow, this is going so much rougher than I thought. It's like baby's first acrylic up in here. Okay, I'm not gonna lie to you guys, just doing this also, that disturbs me. This was pretty hard. I honestly struggled with it a bit. So I'm gonna do just a couple quick little designs for these, but nothing major, really just so we can see them a little bit in action as an example. A fake hand is much harder than I thought it would be. Honestly, just even keeping it structured, like the little clip. This little clip right here is not wanting to stay sectioned to anything, and then it's so heavy that it's just not wanting to stay, and then it keeps falling out of the clip. So if you guys have any tips on that, let me know, because I am struggling a bit. So there is something I do want to try. I haven't tried a spider gel yet, and I don't know why. I haven't yet, and I've had this for a bit, so I think it's finally time to try a spider gel. Okay, so as you can see here, basically what a spider gel is it is almost like stretchy sticky so that you can make like lines and stuff like that with it. Okay, so which nail should we do the spider web on? I would say this green nail. Once again, sorry if this is not the best angle. It is so hard to film like this. Basically you just, and then you can like that. Fun. Oh, it's kind of just doing whatever it wants. That's because I have a fan on. That's my fault. I feel like the fact that it's like almost like stretchy is really cool. Does that look like a spider web? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. That would probably be a more convincing spider web if there was a spider there. So good thing I have these little spider rhinestone decals. Not decals. Oh my gosh, some people get so mad that I call things decals. I know that decals are technically things you stick on or off, but I also don't feel like it's that serious. So I'm sorry if that annoys you. I think once I get a different stand for this hand, I'll try to order one tonight so that in the future, if I want to use it, it's not as big of a mess. I think that would help out a lot. I also have these luminous glitter gels from Model 1's Halloween last year, and I don't know what shades they are. I picked these two. I have like 8 of them, and I'm just going to choose one, and we're gonna put it on this one no matter what color it is. I feel like it should go, since, you know, nude is nude, but we'll see. So let's see. I haven't opened these because my package last year got here too late for me to do anything with them. It looks like it's gonna be orange today. Okay, it's like an orange with black glitter in it. So let's see for this nail. Oh my God, just like the look of that just disturbs me so much because it makes me feel like it's like a nail that's about to pop off. And like if my real nail ever did that, I would probably throw up. Okay, I'm just gonna top coat this one. This one actually looks okay. Okay, and then just for our full moon nail, I'm just going to use, this is Long Hair Pretty Nails' rhinestone kit. I'm gonna use these blue ones because I feel like blue matches with it really, really well. These nails are absolutely not shaped the best they could be. Like I said, this is my first time doing it on a practice hand, and I think I could do it better for sure if the hand wasn't just moving all over the place and falling down every 2 seconds. I'll get a different stand for it, and then I think I'll have a much easier time. That one a little lumpy. It's okay. Let's pretend we don't notice. We'll do a moon. That's like my favorite one that's in this rhinestone kit. Look how pretty the moon is. And a heart. And then for these two, Cat's Eye and Chromie, I'm just going to top coat these ones because I think I like them as is.
Thinking of me, they're thinking of me, say you love me, say you love me, baby, this
I think the Chromie one is the best for sure. Oh, you can see the like little UV flakes in it. I love that. Okay, so here are the nails basically. I know I didn't do every single shade, but I did my favorites. I think this one is definitely the best. This is actually a pretty good nude, and the green, of course, turned out good. I ended up doing this green really quick because everyone's always disappointed when I don't do the green, but I really like them. And then I will show you guys really quick if the swatches do or don't glow in the dark. Okay, let's go see if these glow. Oh, wow, they do. Getting complete darkness. Wow, they glow really, really well. The Franken one even almost glows a little bit, but this one is really pretty. I love the blue in that. And then I believe for this one, the pumpkin one, I put some of the thermal stuff in there, so it would change to yellow, I believe. So I'm gonna put it in my freezer for a second. Okay, let's see. And they are cold and not much of a change. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Please make sure to give this video a like if you enjoyed it, or if you want me to make more of these like acrylic mixing videos. I have more Halloween stuff on the way. Once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will hopefully see you next time. Bye!
I want you bad